Okay, so let's move on. Let's talk about data types in C++. So, what is data type? So, whatever input we are giving to the computer, they don't understand this is the number, this is the string, or something else. So, we need to specify what is the data type. So, that is called data type. So, computer understands the data type and it has the name. Like we have integer. So, this is 32-bit, and if you have the integer, that means we can specify up to 2 per power 30 31 minus 2 per power 31 minus 1 basically. Suppose I'm having integer 45, that's fine. Okay, sorry, a equals to 45, that's fine. But if you want to assign long number, then what we'll have to do, we have to mention another thing that is called long. So that is basically 64-bit. It has a range of minus 263 to minus 2 key power 63 minus 1. Basically, suppose I am assigning a long number like long a equals to 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, that's fine. Okay, it will not generate a error, right? So this is all about. And if you wanted to assign a string, and if you wanted to take a string, that we'll have to assign a string, then we'll have to write a string, uh, what is where we want to store the string, yes equals to, and whatever the you will be written in the double quotes, that will be printed in the machine, or you can take as a input. So it doesn't matter, like a string should be yes, it can be x, it can be anything, right? So take care about this. So string s equals to, suppose that my name alam, right? And then terminate. Okay, and we have seen the data type, and now we are going to see some modular arithmetic. Sometimes in competitive programming we need modular arithmetic. Uh, Modular arithmetic, what it defines basically, modular arithmetic, when we don't need any negative number in remainder, that's why we need modular arithmetic. So suppose we are having x of x of sorry x of mod m equals uh, x, then x mod m, right? And x will be the remainder. All right, okay, that's fine. So what is the purpose of modular arithmetic? So purpose of modular arithmetic is that whenever we don't need negative numbers in integer, that time we are using arithmetic, modular arithmetic. Suppose that we are assigning something x, integer x equals to x divided by m, and if we don't need negative remainder, then what we have to do, then we have to mention if x is greater than 0. If x is negative, then what we will do, we will multiply x, plus we will increment, and then we will assign to the m, right? Okay, Now come into the floating point number. So earlier I have said computer needs what data types you are putting in the computer, and they will understand what data type you are putting. So point is that we are floating point number. All right. So what is floating point number? That means in a number where we can find the decimal, something like 25.5, 25.6 and something else. This is called a floating point number. So if we write integer a is equals to 34.5, that is wrong. That is not the executable code. So we'll have to mention the data type that we are taking the floating number. That's we'll have to write float. So what is the data type of floating point number? Float. So float. Basically it's a 64 bit 64 bit, and if you wanted to mention some floating point number, suppose that salary or someone else's salary. So suppose that someone else is getting salary 400 and something some paisas. The float salary is equals to 27,000 dot 56 pages. So that will be mentioned like this. So this is called floating point number, right? And a better way to compare the floating point number with the equal operator, assume that two number are equal if the difference between them is less than epsilon. So let's talk about this. If you wanted to make two floating point number equal, then what we'll have to do? We'll have to compare with the epsilon, right? So we'll have the logic like this: if absolute of a minus b less than epsilon minus 9, right? And we will give curly braces here, and we will get here a and b are equal. It doesn't matter what is the number after the decimal point. Suppose 23.6 and 23.8. so basically it will give us these number are equals. Okay, that's fine. Now come to the point. So sorting the code. So in competitive programming we have to take less time and less space. That is called time complexity and space complexity. You will see later. So to sorting the things, we are having logics. One is called type diff. What it is? Type diff, that means basically it is used when we have the complex type of data type, like vector and some pair of number. In that time we can use the type diff for sorting the code. So suppose I'm writing here type diff factor. I'm taking a vector of integer, right? and vi. Okay, and if we wanted to take two pair of a number pair, that means 1 comma 2 3 comma 4, this type of pairs, pair of two integer, right? So type def pair integer and pi, right? So this is the logic for the sorting the code. And we will also have the some functions called macros for sorting the code. What it is? Macros. So what is the use of macros? I wanted to show you. Suppose I'm here, I'm in taking some libraries. Define f first, right? And define yes second, and again define pv for pushback. For pushback, right? And define mp for make pair of a two number, right? Okay, let's move. After the code, let's move. After the code, we can write as p vector v dot pushback make pair of two integers. Suppose I'm taking 1 and 2, right? For sorting this, that we have taken these macros functions. For sorting this, we don't need to write pushback and make pair. We will directly use that. Let's see how does it work. Okay, so sorting this, we can write as a v dot pushback. So we have taken here, you can see in the above here pushback. So we have defined pb for the pushback. So we can directly write here pb and directly make a or what do I have defined for the make pair? MP, right? You can see here for the make pair MP. So write directly MP, right? MP and give the pair 2 and 3. That's the simple of sorting the code. That is the work of the macro function, right? And now let's move into the sorting the loops. You will see loops in later. I'll show you what is loops. Basically I'm just showing you how to sorting these things in competitive programming. So sorting the loop, we'll have to define some rep function. Rep basically define sorting the loop, right? So Hutch define R-E-P. That means repetition. What it defines? Repetition. What did it define? Repetition. I-A-B. So we can write as we're writing rep as a this function for this loop for int I is equals to a, and then I less than or equals to b, and then I plus plus. So I have defined the library here, right? Let's move. After this code, basically we can write a loop like this. Suppose that I'm writing a loop and searching some number. So for integer I is equals to 1, I less than equals to n, I plus plus, and then we will search I. Okay, so this is the for loop. Okay, so whenever we are writing a bunch of code like thousands of lines of code and 2000 lines of code, so we don't have time to write again and again all these things. That will take time and also the space. So for this we have the sorting method. Where how can I sort this? So we have defined this repetition as a IAP. Okay, so suppose I just wanted to sorting this for loop, sorting this for loop after sorting. Okay, so how will you sort? You don't need to do anything. You just type repetition rep, and then take the initializations where from the where and how much wanted to take I, and I wanted to search 1 till the end, right? And just search I. Okay, so this is the way of sorting the things that I have teased you. And we will have also the mathematics part. You need to know mathematics, some little bit mathematics to know the competitive programming. So I'll be teaching in next video which mathematics you need to take. So as per now, thank you guys.